Well, how's it going, everybody? So, as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, this blade did not go as expected. We had to change a couple of things up. Now, I figured I would go ahead and leave the footage in from the stuff that led up to us figuring out that we had an issue with the blade, and that way you can at least see that process, and then I'll get into more detail about it later in this episode. So, sadly, if you look right here, there's a line that goes from this pinhole to just past the plunge. That is a crack. On the other side, it only goes about 1/4 of an inch away from the hole there. But that bad boy right there is a good sized crack, and we cannot have that. So I don't have any more of this 8670, and before I even get into what I'm going to be using, which is of course that down there, you can see here, you see all these circles? So this is a good sign that I got it just a little bit too hot, went into the quench too hot, and that's the reason why it cracked. This isn't a fault of the 8670, this is my fault. So it is what it is. I haven't had this happen in a very long time, but you know, stuff happens. I've been lucky enough to not really have to deal with a bunch of cracks or issues like that. It's nice and straight, so we didn't come out warped or anything, but you know, things like this happen. But I don't have any more of this size material, so I'm gonna use some 5160. You know, I've used this on a lot of stuff. The kukri that we just finished was 5160. It was actually out of the same material as this. It was cut off from the end of this piece right here. We're going to cut this down, throw it in the forge it flat, and then we're going to go ahead, cut out the profile, and see if I can go ahead and get the bevels ground and everything set up back to where we are right here. Let's get it. So that's what we're going to use right here. Also, if you're wondering why I have a glove on this hand, it's because I burnt the heck out of this one. Doing dumb stuff, pulling things out while they were still hot, and then accidentally touched it with these 3 fingers, burnt them. I've got them covered in Vaseline and all that stuff right now, but they'll be fine. Might blister a little bit, but I'll be okay. Something to note here, we are just flattening this, so we don't have to get it glowing red in order to do that. We just need to get it warm enough to be able to move it. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. Now, does it suck that we're not going to be able to use this blade right here, the one that Matt sent me? Yes, and not so much because of just the blade or anything like that. It's because it was a collaboration build and he sent me the steel and I really wanted to utilize this, you know, this knife. Now, I do still get to use the same profile. This is the same shape and everything, same handle profile, blade profile, all of that. The only thing I changed was the size of the hole for the R sharpening choil. I downsized it a little bit to get a little more meat down there. But still same handle profile, blade profile, all of that is the same. But, of course, we're not using 8670 now, we're using 5160. Some of the cool stuff that I'm going to get because of switching to this is I've got a few textures that you get with whenever I use this particular steel. So in the flats, we're going to get a really cool texture, and the ricasso area and all that. So I think it's going to play well with the material matchups that I'm going to be doing with this. So it's still going to look like an awesome knife. It's not going to be exactly the collaboration, but I am still using the profile, so technically it is. Guys, I'm excited about the handle material for this. So even though that's going to be next video, I do want to kind of give you a sneak peek. If you look at the blade here, you'll see that we have two lines. So the last knife that I did with this steel, which was this Cooper right here, we did the exposed copper liners. So I'm going to do something similar to that, but not with the copper. Now, would the copper look cool on this? Yes, it would. But I want to do it slightly different. So what I'm going to do, this area right here is going to be exposed liner material. So we're going to have wood here, exposed liner material. So what materials are we going to use? Carbon fiber and this beautiful burl wood right here. So I think that these are going to match up really well, and I'm really excited about using this 1/8 inch thick right here, the carbon fiber. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome, and having that carbon fiber exposed right here to where you see the weave and everything, and have that, you know, the green go into that black, go into the stone wash finish with the texture and all that. I think that the overall aesthetics of this is just going to be really cool, and it's going to be something that is a little unique that I haven't seen yet. So that's the route we're going to go. That's going to be the next episode. We're going to go ahead, get this thing heat treated, get the finish put on it, get the handle scales cut out, and hopefully go ahead and get them attached. That's going to be the goal for the next episode. And then after that, we'll go ahead and do an episode either about the shop, doing the roof, or going ahead and wrapping up this build. We'll see how that goes. I wasn't expecting to have the crack on this. You know, it sets me back a whole entire episode, but it happens. I am interested to know if y'all ever had one of those experiences where just something happened and you had to just rethink the whole entire project. Interested to hear those stories. Put them down in the comment section. Guys, that is the end of this episode. If you would, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all stay safe out there, and I will catch y'all next time.